Just in case. So the good news is no Spanish matters.
Okay.
So you guys will probably be right up front. Okay. If you want to adjust it as you can, they do move.
Okay.
Talk.
I think I'll go up with her. Oh, dear. That way I'll have my...
All right, Honorable Chin now presiding. You can be seated. Thank you, everyone. Okay, this is the 2 p.m. initial appearance docket. We're going to call you each in here individually, tell you why you're here. When you come into the room, there's a lectern in the center of the room. Stand behind that. Give me your full name and date of birth. I'll be giving you important information concerning your case you need to take with you. You don't have to try to memorize what I tell you because before you leave the area, you'll receive a printed copy of the document that contains all the important information that you need to take with you. If you're someone who's here in a probation violation matter that will be heard in Maricopa County Superior Court, the Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you at this time so that you'll have counsel at your next court appearance. If you're someone who is released, you need to review all the conditions that may be contained in the release order and comply with them. For example, if they include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and you violate those conditions and you're taken into custody for that reason, you will not be released from custody easily again. All right, we'll start with Daniela Lopez. Full name, date of birth, please.
Daniela Lopez, 4/23/1989.
Okay, present and counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mike Trayer on behalf of Ms. Lopez is present in custody.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Stephen Garcia on behalf of the state.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lopez, would you please give me your full name and date of birth?
Daniela Lopez, 4/23/1989.
All right. You have been charged with the following. One count of stalking, causing fear, a Class 5 felony, and one count of harassment by surveillance. That's a misdemeanor. Does the county attorney's office have a position concerning any release conditions for this defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't have much to add to my written recommendation, but we are asking for a $2,500 secured appearance bond. We don't know of any prior felony or misdemeanor convictions. However, this is obviously a concerning series of events wherein the victim has come away afraid, with her privacy violated. Your Honor, if the court is inclined to release the defendant, we'd at a minimum ask that she be released with the electronic monitoring in order to ensure there is no further contact with the victim, either directly or indirectly. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask the court release her OR. What you have here is you have a 35-year-old young woman who has zero criminal history. She has no failures to appear. In fact, the only traffic violation she's received reportedly is a photo radar ticket. She's lived in Phoenix for 30 years, with the exception of 4 years where she studied her nursing degree up at NAU. She is a registered nurse. She is 1 year away from becoming a
Nurse practitioner.
Nurse practitioner, one in the last 3 years. So of like a 3-year program. She's also studying currently her master's at Grand Canyon University. She doesn't use drugs. She doesn't drink alcohol. There's not a concern here, Your Honor, I think, for any kind of like significant monitoring, certainly not any kind of a appearance bond. In addition, she has no children, but she's lived here. Her family lives here too. Two of her sisters, both of her parents, and her nursing license is going to be a paramount concern for her. There's going to be no reason why the court should have any concern of her inability to be able to appear for future hearings under Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure 7.3. Moreover, the issue with the victims, I think, the alleged victims here, of their concern of this monitoring, and I'm not discounting that. I'm also certainly not conceding that. But the reality here is that the nursing license and her career is on such a heavily scrutinized issue. I don't think that I believe that Ms. Lopez will abide by the simple condition of do not contact the alleged victims and do not return to the scene. She's going to have to deal with even reporting this. I believe, I'll have to double check. I can't remember the specific licensing with the nursing board, but I believe she may have to report the arrest itself within, I think, a 10-day period. So that licensing issue is already going to become an issue, a significant issue for her. So for these reasons, Your Honor, I ask you release her OR. There's no need for type of monitoring that people who would be charged with sex offenses would have for the electronic monitoring. And so for those reasons, Your Honor, I'd ask that you release her OR.
All right, thank you. The county attorney's office have any response?
Your Honor, for the county attorney, our central concern is danger, not necessarily a flight risk. Obviously, that kind of record wouldn't be there without any criminal history. But, Your Honor, it's notable that after the first two GPS devices were investigated by law enforcement and the report was made, another tracking device popped up on the victim's vehicle. So even after the time that law enforcement got involved, another GPS tracking device developed. We have that same concern moving forward after the courts have stepped in. Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I would like to address that specific issue, because according to the Form 4, they say that it should be noted the victim's vehicle was searched the day before the Form 4 was generated and no GPS tracker was located. This is merely an allegation here that there was some additional GPS. So I don't know the veracity of it quite yet. And also pretrial services is not recommending any of this.
If I'm not mistaken, let me ask, wasn't there another tracker found?
Two in total, Your Honor. The third one was reported to have been placed on the vehicle, but then after it was found by the victims, it disappeared.
Okay. All right. I consider this to be, considering the fact that your client is somebody who's had a very law-abiding life up to this point, a particularly egregious form of these types of offenses. I am going to set a $2,500 bond. She'll be subject to electronic monitoring if and when she bonds out. She's not to have any contact with the alleged victims or witnesses. And the next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30. Anything further?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. We'll have a copy of that release order for you in just a moment.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
That's my copy. Thank you.
All right, the next matter will be Sheena Mata, and then after Sheena will be Samuel Racia.
Okay, thank you.
Full name, date of birth, please.
Sheena Cecilia Mata, 42390.
All right, ma'am. You are here because a direct complaint's been filed against you, charging you with driving while under the influence. This is the date this is alleged to have occurred was November 9th of 2022. At the time this is alleged to have occurred, this is a felony. You were on felony release in another matter. Under Arizona law, if you are arrested, charged with a felony, and are then charged with committing a new felony while you were on release from the original felony, you're not entitled to have a bond set. So no bond will be set. You'll be held on felony release at least until your next court date, which will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I believe the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this case, all right? And your order's right over there.
Okay.
Samuel Raish, and then it'll be Javier Gomez. Full name, date of birth?
January 20th, 2004, Samuel Raish.
All right, you, sir, were arrested let's see, when was it? Well, it's alleged that you committed these offenses. The dates of the violations are March 12th of this year. One count of transporting for sale or sale of marijuana, Class 3 felony. Possession for sale of marijuana, Class 4 felony, and possession of a weapon in the commission of a drug offense, a Class 4 felony. Pretrial services says that you are financially capable of hiring your own counsel. If that's not correct for anybody who's entitled to have counsel appointed on this docket, at your next court appearance, you can request appointment of counsel and they'll reevaluate your situation. Because you were on felony release when this is on another felony, when this is alleged to have occurred, you're not entitled to have a bond set under Arizona law. In fact, I have no discretion in this matter. So you'll be held without bond. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And your order's right over there. Javier Gomez, and then it will be Lauren Lamont. Full name, date of birth, please.
1/27/75.
All right. Your full name?
Javier Garcia Gomez.
All right, Mr. Gomez. You were previously charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. A status conference was scheduled on April 18th of last year. When you failed to appear, they issued a warrant for your arrest with a $500 bond. Your next court date in that matter will be April 3rd at 8:30 Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. And the reason you're here this afternoon is because you were arrested on new charges yesterday, new felonies, while you were on felony release from the one that you bench warranted on. You were arrested and charged for possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Because you were on felony release when this is alleged to have occurred yesterday, you're not entitled to have a bond set. You'll be held without bond until your next court date, which will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Lastly, you have a warrant out of Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court for driving on a suspended license. This is alleged to have occurred in February of 2018. The warrant was issued in August of 2021 with a $584 bond. Your next court date will be an Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court on April 2nd at 8:30, and because you'll still be in custody very likely, we'll make sure that you make a court appearance on that case, all right?
All right.
And your order's right over there. Lauren Lamont, and then it'll be Joseph Rice. Lauren Lamont. Full name, date of birth?
June 27, 1997, Lauren Lamont.
Okay, Mr. Lamont, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They contend you violated conditions of probation, and on February 18th, the warrant for your arrest was issued with a $750 bond. Your next court date will be your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court downtown Phoenix on April 4th at 8:30, and your order's right over there. Joseph Rice, and then it'll be Anthony Flores. Full name, date of birth?
Joseph Rice, 4/26/96.
Okay, Mr. Rice, you're on felony probation. Oh, you're not. It's actually misdemeanor probation. They contend you violated conditions of probation, and on January 14th, a warrant for your arrest was issued with a $750 bond. Your next court date will be April 4th at 8:30 at your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order's right over there. Anthony Flores, and then it'll be Cynthia Duncan.
Is there anything I could say about it? Because I was in custody in Florence when this warrant went out. I was in custody at Core Civic in Florence. I just got transferred page 2 from Florence. I just did 63 days.
Hold on. Let me look. You have a. Let's see here. Okay, on February 18th, they contacted Mesa City Jail, and you were in custody, sentenced to 90 days. Yeah, they knew you were in custody, okay? They knew you were in custody and kept the warrant in effect. So what I suggest you do, you can contact your probation officer, explain what you think happened that was not fair, but your next court date, as I mentioned, will be on April 4th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You'll have an attorney there to represent you. But the system was aware you were in custody, and the warrant had been issued, and they kept it in effect. You can contact your probation officer. You can make phone calls and explain what your situation is, and if they advise us that you should be released, modification of your release order should take place, we will do that. Okay, your order's right over there.
Thank you.
Anthony Flores, I guess, or did I? Yeah, here we go. And then after that is Cynthia Duncan. Full name, date of birth?
My name is Anthony Flores. My date of birth will be 2479.
All right, Mr. Flores, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They believe you violated conditions of probation on February 13th. The warrant for your arrest was issued with a $250 bond. Your next court date will be your revocation arraignment hearing in downtown Phoenix Superior Court, April 4th at 8:30, and your order's right over there.
That's it.
Cynthia Duncan, and then it will be Erica Garcia. Full name, date of birth?
Cynthia Aslan Duncan McEwen, 8/15/99.
Okay, man, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They contend you violated conditions, and a warrant for your arrest was issued on March 2nd with a $250 bond. Your next court date, April 4th at 8:30 at your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. And your order's right over there. Erica Garcia, and then it will be Jason Curran. Full name, date of birth, please.
Erica Kim Garcia, 52891.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You are also on felony probation here in Maricopa County on 2 separate cases, and the probation department has requested that a hold be placed on you because what happened to your arrest yesterday is a Term 1 violation. On the new drug charge, a $500 bond is set, and your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30, Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. Then on the probation violation matters, a $250 bond is set in each case. April 4th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix is your next court date on those 2 matters, all right? And your orders are right over there.
Thank you.
Jason Curran, and then it will be Victor Meza.
Hello, Your Honor. Jason Curran, 52178.
All right, Mr. Curran, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County, and on March 11th, a warrant for your arrest was issued with a $500 bond. Your next court date in that matter will be your revocation arraignment hearing in downtown Phoenix, April 4th at 8:30. The reason you're here today is because you were arrested yesterday on new drug charges, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 6 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. $500 bond is set on the new case. April 3rd at 8:30 will be downtown Phoenix, will be your next court date on the new arrest. All right, and your order's right over there.
Thank you.
Victor Meza, and then it'll be Wyatt Wesley. Full name, date of birth, please.
Victor Mesa, August 5th, 1968.
All right, you, sir, were arrested yesterday and charged with the following. 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony. Transportation of dangerous drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony. A conspiracy to commit these offenses, a Class 2 felony. Selling drugs in a drug-free zone, which is near a school, Class 2 felony. Possession of drugs in a drug-free zone, a Class 2 felony. Possession of narcotic drugs, simple possession, Class 4 felony. Simple possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, and possession of 2 counts of the latter, and then a possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. A cash-only secured appearance bond is set in the amount of $25,000. Your next court date is April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And your order's right over there. Wyatt Wesley, and then it'll be Juan Soto. Full name, date of birth?
Wyatt Wesley, December 14th, 1995, Your Honor.
All right, there is a warrant out of La Paz County Superior Court where you've been charged with 2 counts of aggravated DUI felonies. This warrant was issued on January 14th with a $10,000 cash bond. I am just affirming what the judge in La Paz County did. Your next court date will be in Parker Justice Court on April 2nd at 8:30, and the La Paz County Sheriff's Office will pick you up in time to make that court appearance, all right? And your order's right over there. Juan Soto, and then it'll be Nicole Bayless. Full name, date of birth.
Juan Soto, January 31st, 1996.
Right. A direct complaint's been filed against you. It's alleged that on March 14th of this year, you committed the offense of prisoner possession of contraband or making contraband. That's a Class 2 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. The judge who issued this warrant set bond in the amount of $10,000. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order's right over there. Nicole Bayless, and then it will be Sarah Williams. Go ahead, Ms. Bayless. Full name, date of birth.
Nicole Bayless, 3/27/82.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested yesterday, charged with one count each of the following: aggravated driving while under the influence on a suspended or revoked license. That's a Class 4 felony. And then 3 different forms of misdemeanor driving while under the influence. Pretrial services says that you're not indigent, so you're capable of hiring your own counsel. If that's not correct, you can request at your next court appearance. You have a bond, an arrest warrant out of Tucson on a DUI case. I'm setting a bond in this case in the amount of $500. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. If you bond out, make sure you make it, all right? Your order's over there. Sarah Williams, and then it'll be David Salazar. Full name, date of birth?
Sarah Jane Williams, January 21st, 1998.
All right, ma'am. You were previously charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6. A status conference was scheduled on December 12th, and when you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest with a $2,500 bond. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order's right over there. David Salazar, and then it'll be Renee Valterra. Full name, date of birth?
David Salazar, August 28, 1990.
All right, Mr. Salazar. You were arrested yesterday, charged with theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, and knowingly displaying fictitious plates. A misdemeanor. Pretrial services says that you are financially capable of hiring your own counsel, so one won't be appointed at this time. A $500 bond is set. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order's right over there. Renee Valterra, and then it'll be Curtis Wilkinson. Full name, date of birth?
5/25/1993.
Full name?
Rene Miguel Valtierra.
All right, Mr. Valterra. You were arrested, let me see, yesterday, charged with, whoops, I'm on the wrong case here. We didn't pop up the right case here. There we go. You were arrested yesterday and charged with a form of shoplifting. What happened? My computer just went out. Well, I'll tell you what it was. It was shoplifting, a misdemeanor, and artifice, which is using something to with intent to facilitate shoplifting. That is a misdemeanor also, but you're also on felony probation. And your probation officer has, because you had a number of these types of arrests, has requested that a hold be placed on you for violating the conditions of probation. So in this case, a $500 bond is set, and I will give you the next court date. It's printed on the form. You know, did your computer go out? It says no signal. It just all of a sudden went black and then it said rebooting or something in blue and then, okay, well, give me a second here. I didn't do anything, so. Anyway, on the, Mr. Valterra, on the new charge is a $500 bond. On each of the probation violation matters, there's a $250 bond. And I can't give you your next court date. It's on vocally now.
May I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, when this happened yesterday, I was very in a bad spot. But I had just got released from this facility, like, within the past week, last Thursday morning. And I haven't had an opportunity to meet with my probation officer. I haven't seen her since almost a year, or had a conversation in almost a year. And I'm very concerned on what I can do to complete probation if I have to keep on having these weird reoccurring situations where I'm too hungry or too lost in my day to find money or a resource to eat, so I have to go, try to shoplift. It's very simple what I had, like the crime I commit, but it's the intricate way that they have it seem to be assumed that, it's planned to catch me before I even do it. And I'm not trying to assume anything. It's just me coming back to jail is really stagnating my process.
I think that you're well known to different businesses. I think this isn't the first time you've been in this business at that location, and you're right. They know you pretty well, I think.
I don't know about that. That's not what I'm saying is important. Because my PO doesn't know me, and I don't know my PO. And these places that I'm supposed to be in, to where I never have to be in these types of situations, they have not been able to house me, only because I never get to these places. And when I do, I just haven't. It's like something's in the way. Somebody wants to keep me at bay and keep me. I feel like I'm being set up to go to prison, and I'm not a prisoner. I'm a father, and I'm a former general manager. I'm a college student, and I'm really sick of going to jail because I went to jail in my youth, and I need people that are in the justice system that are going to have my back, knowing that I've been in this justice system, and I learned my lesson, and I need patience or a conversation because I think.
Question that you were caught, and they have video of your committing theft yesterday. And the problem is, this happens a lot. And so in this particular case, as I told you, your next court, I set a bond on and I appointed the public defender's office. April 3rd at 8:30 will be your next court date on the new charge. You're not to return to the scene of the store where this is alleged to have occurred in the future, and on the probation violation matters. Your next court date will be April 4th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Talk to your probation officer. You can call your probation officer, but I don't know what to tell you any more than I understand what you're saying. That's not a defense to your being charged with what is clearly a legitimate crime. And talk to your probation officer, and if they can determine that we should modify your conditions of release, we'll do that. All right, your order's right over there. All right, where was I? Curtis Wilkinson, and then it'll be Benjamin Benitez. Full name, date of birth, please.
Curtis Wilkinson, 12/26/87.
All right, you, sir, 1 second here. You were arrested and charged with Theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, 2 counts. They occurred on separate dates. One was November 21st and the other was August 8th. Pretrial services says that you were filmed in your vehicle following the vehicle that was stolen very closely at a high speed in both cases. The secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500 is set. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30 in downtown Phoenix. And if you can't afford to have counsel, if you actually cannot afford to hire your own attorney, you can request appointment of counsel at your next court appearance. All right, Benjamin Benitez.
One question.
What?
I actually live in California, and I was wondering, and I was in transition of moving out here. I was wondering if it was possible for me to come travel back and forth.
Well, this order at this time, if you bond out, you're not to leave the state, but you can get at your next court appearance, your attorney can explain what your situation is, and it's possible that they can modify the conditions of release to let you go back to the state you're from. All right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Benjamin Benitez, and then it'll be Jeremy Regals. Full name, date of birth.
Benjamin Benitez, 1/16/76.
All right, you were here on 3 separate cases. The county attorney's office proceeded by direct complaint on 2 theft cases, and then a grand jury arrest warrant was issued on a 3rd theft case. We'll start with that one. I think this warrant was issued in October of 2021. It is theft by obtaining property by misrepresentation. That is a Class 5 felony and 2 counts of fraudulent schemes and artifices. Class 2 felonies. The warrant that was issued in this case is a $2,000 bond. Your next court date will be on April 4th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The public defender's office appointed to represent you. Then you have 2 other theft type cases that the county attorney's office proceeded by direct complaint on. One's alleged to have occurred in January of 2018. The other is in July of 2018. And one count of theft or control of stolen property, a Class 6 felony. The other is theft or control of stolen property, a Class 6 felony, and the second count is fraudulent schemes and artifices. In each case, the warrant was issued with a $100 bond, and your next court date should be the same dates, which is April 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your orders are right over there. All right, Jeremy Regals, and then it'll be Darius Curry. Where am I? Full name, date of birth, please.
Jeremy Regals, 11/15/88.
All right, Mr. Regals, you were previously charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felonies. Status conference was scheduled on March 3rd of 2023, 2 years ago. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest with a $300 bond. Your next court date in that matter will be April 7th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You have a warrant from Santan Justice Court. When you were cited for driving while under the influence and convicted of it, apparently. This incident alleged to have occurred in April of 2018. This is your 3rd arrest in that case. This last warrant was issued in September of 2022, it looks like. The amount of the bond that you owed was $2,537. Your next court date in that matter will be April 2nd in Santan Justice Court. If you're still in custody on this matter, then we will arrange that you make appearance. What?
Can I?
Sure.
I've completed everything I had to do for all of them.
Well, then you need to contact the court and explain what happened, because we show this warrant is still being.
Yeah, I understand that. I didn't know about it. I opened the door to the officers.
Well, you've been arrested 3 times on that particular case, the DUI case.
I understand. And since I've gone to rehab, I've been clean for 2 years.
All right, well, okay, but you owe them some money, and after 3 arrests, I'm going to keep them out of the bonds in place.
Understood.
All right, there you go. Darius Curry, and then it'll be Gabriel Fleming. Full name, date of birth?
Darius Curry, August 14th, 1994.
All right, Mr. Curry, it's alleged, the county attorney's office alleges, filed by direct complaint, the following criminal charges: possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and possession of dangerous drugs, a class 6 felony. These are alleged to have occurred in May of last year. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. The bond that was set on the warrant that was issued in this case is $750. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 8:30. There you go, your order's right over there. Gabriel Fleming, and then it will be Jose Ruano. Full name, date of birth, please.
Gabriel Angel Fleming, 11/20/2001.
Okay, you, sir, were arrested yesterday, charged with criminal trespass, a misdemeanor. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in University Lakes Justice Court on April 15th at 1:30. Conditions of your release include not going back to the location where this occurred. I mean, they know you. When they see you, you've been trespassed there before several times. And when you're there, they automatically call the police because you're not supposed to be there. Next time you'll have to post a bond to get out, all right?
All right.
Your order's right over there.
Thank you.
Jose Ruano, and then it'll be Fernanda Brown. Full name, date of birth?
Jose Ronald, March 11th, 1975.
All right, you, sir, were arrested yesterday, charged with criminal damage by defacement, a misdemeanor. If you're entitled to have an attorney appointed, that'll be at your next court appearance. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear on April 18th at 2 p.m. in Buckeye Municipal Court, but these conditions of release are the difficult ones. You've got to comply with them. Not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses. And if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms. Do you understand?
Order of protection?
Yeah. People in domestic situations, when there's an argument or a fight and property gets broken, the party who contends that he or she is a victim can get an order of protection that, in addition to my order not returning to the scene, can order that you not come back or have any contact with the victim, like my order says. That will stay in place. You can go at your next court appearance, maybe you can get what I've ordered on the criminal charge modified, but the order of protection will be in place until either it expires, which is a couple of years, or you request a hearing, or the victim, in this case, accompanies you to court and the case and requests that the court dismiss the order of protection.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Is that it?
Fernando Fernanda Brown, and then it'll be Selena Perez. Full name, date of birth?
Fernanda Marie Brown, 5986.
All right, ma'am. The county attorney's office has, by direct complaint, charged you with possession of dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. This is alleged to have occurred this last December 23rd. I am releasing you on I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm releasing you on what we call supervised release to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 11th at 8:30. On your order, your release papers, there'll be a phone number for pretrial services. Okay. Within a few days of your release, you're to call them and touch base with them, okay? Okay. That's it. There you go.
Thank you.
Selena Perez, and then it will be Jaritza Valencia Vasquez. Full name, date of birth?
Selena Perez, 6/24/94.
All right, man. You were arrested yesterday, charged with criminal damage by defacement, a misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct by fighting, a misdemeanor. If you're entitled to have an attorney appointed, and one will be at the next court appearance, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in Goodyear Municipal Court on April 16th at 1 p.m. Conditions of your release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms. Those are the orders that are in effect when you leave, when you're released. Make sure you comply with them until you get in and if they are to be modified, that will be at your next court date. All right? There you go.
May I say something?
Yes.
I'm only here visiting my family because my husband's stationed back in Fort Hood, Fort Cavazos. You said April 16th?
Yeah, I can't accelerate that date that you're given for your next court date. It's April 16th at 1 p.m. because, I mean, everything is kind of backed up. I mean, the date that you get is, and if you don't show up, a warrant for your arrest will issue. All right? There's nothing else I can tell you. Oh, well, if you can hire an attorney who can appear for you in a hurry and maybe get a extension on the date or accelerate it, but usually an extension on the date. You say it's Georgia. Where is it? Where's your husband's station?
Fort Cavazos. It's in Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's unless you come back and make a court appearance as required, a warrant will issue for your arrest when you don't show up. Okay?
Okay, so I could go back home and then come back?
Well, technically you're not supposed to leave the state.
Oh, okay.
All right? So, and if you get an attorney who can convince the court that you're to be in front of, which is Goodyear Municipal Court, that you will show up if they allow you to leave the state of Arizona, good for you. All right? There you go.
Okay.
All right. Jaritza Vasquez, and then it'll be Patricia Houndshorn. Full name, date of birth?
Jaritza Valencia, July 23rd, 2002.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested yesterday and charged with criminal trespass, a class of a residential structure, a class 6 felony. The public defender's office appointed to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 11th at 8:30. Conditions of your release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with victims, okay?
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Patricia Houndson, then it will be Yolanda Cardiel. What's that?
Can you take a break really quick? The computer continues to start analysis.
Is your computer go out?
Yes, I want to make sure you're not on the record.
All right, we'll wait a second till her computer hooks up.
So this person is mine. Yes. Okay.
You got it?
I'm trying to log in.
Okay.
Just so that it looks like you're still on.
All right. I'll wait. We'll wait a few minutes. Mine went out about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Is it coming back?
Starting now, let me make sure we're off.
Okay.
I think we should be good.
What's that?
We should be good.
Okay. Full name, date of birth?
Patricia Ann Helmsome, 9/27/65.
All right, Ms. Helmsome, the county attorney's office has charged you by direct complaint with possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. These incidents are alleged to have occurred on January 2nd of last year. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm releasing you on supervised release to appear in Superior Court downtown Phoenix on April 11th at 8:30. On your release order papers will be a phone number for pretrial services within a few days of your release. Call that number and just touch base with them, all right?
Okay.
All right, your order's right
Thank you.
there. Yolanda Cardale, and then it'll be Terrell Robertson. Full name, date of birth?
Yolanda Cardiel, 9/1/63.
All right, ma'am, you were arrested yesterday, charged with one count each of the following: possession of dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6, I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court downtown Phoenix on April 11th at 8:30. Okay?
Thank you.
You bet. Terrell Robertson, and then it'll be Ruben Amaya. Full name, date of birth?
Terrell Robertson, 05-1602.
All right. You, sir, were arrested yesterday, charged with disorderly conduct by fighting. That's a misdemeanor. I am going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in West Mesa Justice Court on April 15th at 8:30. Conditions of your release include not having any contact with the alleged victims or witnesses, okay?
Okay.
Your order's right over there. Thank you. Ruben Amaya, and then it'll be Luz Delgado. Full name, date of birth?
Ruben Amaya, March 10th, 1994.
All right, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County, and they contend you violated conditions of probation, and they issued a warrant for your arrest. You are here because you were arrested yesterday and charged with criminal trespass of a residential structure, a Class 6 felony. This is what I'm going to do. You don't have, it's not a serious criminal background, mainly just drugs and trespass. And your probation officer had a $50 bond set on the arrest warrant that was issued. I'm going to release you on the probation violation matter on your own recognizance. And your next court date will be your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court downtown Phoenix on April 4th at 8:30. Then on the new charge, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, but you'll be subject to the supervision of your probation officer, okay? Contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release, explain what happened. So instead of you being released on supervised release on a new charge, you're going to be released on your own recognizance subject to the supervision of your probation officer. And your next court date will be April 11th at 8:30 on that matter. I think the dates will be different, April 11th and then, April 4th. On the probation violation, the revocation arraignment, that's on the 4th of April, and on the other one is the 11th. That's just nothing we can do about that, okay? There you go. Luz Delgado, and then it'll be Jaime Verdugo. Full name, date of birth?
Luis Alejandro Delgado, 6493.
All right, you sir were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and resisting arrest with passive resistance. That's a misdemeanor. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to release you on supervised release to appear in Superior Court on April 11th at 8:30. That's in downtown Phoenix. On your release papers will be the phone number for pretrial services within a few days of your release. Call that number and touch base with them, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. The order's right over there. Jaime Verdugo, and then it'll be Mauer Ismail. Full name, date of birth.
Jaime Verdugo, July 3rd, 1971.
All right, you are here because the county attorney's office alleges that on September 14th of last year, you committed the offenses of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear Superior Court downtown Phoenix on April 11th at 8:30.
Okay, thank you.
Right, you bet. Mauer Ismail. Full name, date of birth?
Mayor Ismail, December 18th, 1997.
All right, you were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, April 11th at 8:30.
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah, go ahead and get your order right over there. All right, we got two. William Hayes. Full name, date of birth?
3/12/72.
And your full name?
William Hayes.
All right. You were on parole, and they contend that you violated your conditions of probation. They issued a warrant for your arrest on March 15th of 2022. Let me get that up here. Here we go. It doesn't state that because you're on parole, they don't have to set a bond. Did you read the paperwork we gave you?
I read some of it. Do you see that I've been incarcerated at Pinell County, and I was there for 33 days, and they never came, and I'm currently in Casa Grande.
Yeah, well, okay, they should have, it'd be nice if they told you. This warrant was issued on March 15th of 2022, so like 3 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't handle it any other way, but because it's a parole violation, they did not set a bond on it, which you can be held without bond. One of the things that the paperwork we gave you explains, basically everything you need to know. You're not entitled to have an attorney appointed to represent you because this is a civil matter. This is a civil matter. You're not entitled to have an attorney, but you can hire your own attorney. Your choices are pretty simple. The only thing they have to prove is, number one, there's a warrant. Number two, you're the person named in the warrant. If you waive extradition, you'll be held without bond for up to 30 days, day one being tomorrow. If they have not picked, the requesting state hasn't picked you up by the expiration of the 30th day, you'll be released from custody on the 31st day, but the warrant will still be out there. Yeah, usually they'll pick you up much quicker than that. I mean,
So did you hear what I said? Like,
you were in custody for, I know. I don't know what else to tell you.
So I got to go through the process again?
Yeah.
Yes.
For whatever reason, they did not, because this warrant was issued on March 15th of 2022. Frequently, when they know that you're in custody, they will advise the state where you're being held so that when you're released, then they can start the extradition proceedings. But let me finish. If you don't want to waive extradition, the states of Arizona and the requesting state have up to 60 days to complete extradition proceedings, which are real simple. All they have to do is prove, number one, valid warrant. Number two, you're the person named in the warrant. But you're going to be held without bond no matter what. If you want to get out of here in a hurry, if you waive extradition, the requesting state has to pick you up within 30 days, day one being tomorrow. I don't know what else to tell you. You have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
All right, and you don't have to decide right now either. You can think about it. If you have people that you can talk to back there, talk to them. You will have a court date on April 7th at 1:30 here in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. At that time, you can waive extradition if you like, or you can ask the judge questions. It'll be another hearing where you'll have more time to discuss things, but the simple fact is that there's no good choices, especially on one where there's no bond set. And I don't know what else to tell you. And you don't have to decide today. If you don't want to decide, we'll just put didn't choose to waive, and you'll be held without bond until April 7th at 1:30 in downtown Phoenix. Okay?
So if I start the process today, will I, at the end of the 30 days, do I come back before you? Or will
No. What'll happen, we'll just automatically, I guess, don't they just automatically roll them out if they aren't picked up in the 30 days? On the 31st day, there's no hearing or anything, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they just roll you out.
Mr. Skip, when I was in Pinell County, they bring me back before the judge, then the judge released me in February.
But it wasn't on an extradition proceeding.
Yes, it was extradition. I got the paperwork.
Was it the same state?
It was the same state. I was in
Well,
Pinell.
see, this warrant was issued in March of 2022.
Mr. Skip, I understand. I've been through this process. I got out in February in Pinell County, in Florence, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I did 33 days, and I went back before. I forget the judge's name. He had me come back before him. Then he released me that day. And so I'm thinking, why is the process?
Let me tell you that it wasn't. The circumstances that existed at that time were not the ones that exist right now.
So you're saying these are different extradition
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened, except that you're here and our staff confirms that there is a warrant from the requesting state. They call them, talk to them, and they say that we've got you in custody, and the requesting state sends out an abstract of the warrant. In this case, I don't know if it was an abstract or the actual warrant. But anyway, and that may not have been the situation when you were in front of a judge in Pinell County, and maybe you were still doing time then, and they just didn't want to waste their time. I don't know. Were you still in prison then?
No, sir. It was just February.
Okay, and I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you because
I was explaining to you. If you have an explanation, that's fine. Let's just start the process again.
You want to wait? You want to wait? Okay, you want to waive extradition? Yes. In other words,
I'm going to start the process right now.
You want to start the process where they have to pick you up within 30 days, day one being tomorrow.
Correct.
All right. But has anybody promised you anything that we haven't talked about or threatened you in any way to get you to waive extradition?
No.
Do you have any questions about the paperwork we gave you when you read it that I can answer for you?
No.
You know that you're not entitled to have an attorney appointed to represent you, but you can hire one yourself if you can afford it. And you can fight extradition. And the states of requesting state and Arizona have up to 60 days to complete extradition proceedings. All they have to do is show valid warrant that you're the person, right?
Correct.
Okay. And if you waive extradition, the requesting state has to pick you up within 30 days. Starting tomorrow is the 31st day, and we will release you on the 31st day if they haven't done that, but you'll be held without bond until they either pick you up or we release you on the 31st day. You understand that?
Yes, sir. So you say if they don't come, I'll be released April the 31st?
On the 31st day, yeah.
Of April?
Yeah, day one's tomorrow. Okay. I find this a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. And I'm going to sign he waives. We have something for you to come and sign over here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right over here.
Come in. take up like the entire space with the.
Should I take it up or don't take it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sign one more time. Sign one more time. Not taking it. Yeah, that's not taking it. There you go.
I've got to see it. All right. There you go, good luck.
I appreciate it, Mr. Gill.
All right. Next matter is Jerica Green. Full name, date of birth, please.
7/31/1985.
All right, Miss Green, get your case up here. A warrant was issued for your arrest from Georgia. This warrant was issued on January 28th. Were you on probation or parole back there?
I never been to Georgia. I never got
Okay.
any trouble prior to today.
What happens is, my staff, I wish they'd train them to do this, but when you can't tell what the bond is or whether it's been set, and while Georgia is still awake and not asleep, when they get it in, they can call somebody back there and find out. Otherwise, I just kind of arbitrarily set a bond that I think is fair under the circumstances. Did you read the paperwork we gave you?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, sir.
All right. Basically, if you waive extradition, you'll be held without bond. The requesting state, Georgia, has 30 days to pick you up, day one being tomorrow. If they haven't picked you up, we will release you on the 31st day. If you don't want to waive extradition, I'm going to set a bond that I think is reasonable under the circumstances. And I'm going to set a bond in the amount of, a cash bond in the amount of $10,000. There isn't, well, I know, but they wouldn't go through what they're going through if they didn't think it was a serious matter. The bond that maybe was set in the warrant that we don't know was much higher than $10,000.
Sir, I've never been in any type of trouble. I'm not on any type of probation. I'm a single mother. I have 2 kids here.
Well, let me tell you, the charges were identity theft and fraud, and this is a nationwide extradition. So they thought it was pretty serious. So I'm just telling you, if you don't want to waive extradition, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $10,000, cash only, and your next court date will be in front of a judge that if you want to change your mind and waive, that will be on April 7th at 1:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I don't know what else to tell you. You're not entitled to have an attorney appointed to represent you, but you can hire your own. You can discuss this with people if you like. And if you want to wait until April 7th, you'll have another opportunity to talk to a judge. Maybe by then, staff can find out what the amount of the bond is, and it's less than $10,000, but I doubt it. Anyway, so I just need you to tell me what you want to do. If you want to waive extradition, there's some questions I have to ask you to make sure it's a knowing, intelligent waiver. If you don't want to waive, I will just set the bond and the amount, and your next court date will be April 7th at 1:30 in front of a judge who you can talk to again, all right?
And if I choose the bond on the next court date and I want to still do the waiver of extradition, do I have that opportunity?
You can waive, you can waive at your next court date. You can waive extradition at your next
If I
court
have not come up with the 10,000.
Oh, well, if you come up with the 10,000, you can get out. Just make sure you show up for your court dates.
And the court date will be here, not Georgia?
Well, no, the next court date will be here on April 7th at 1:30 in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. Because we have jurisdiction over the authority over the extradition matters to conduct the necessary hearings and hold you in custody and set the terms of any release.
Can you be flexible with the 10,000 cash?
No, I'm going, because I don't know, you might be, Bonnie and Clyde, the other guy,
And I promise
Clyde
I won't.
Still on the loose, I don't know.
But I'm not a rich person. I can do a collateral.
All right, I don't know what else to tell you. You've got, it's about a week away, week or 10 days before your next court appearance. Let me do this. I will just set the bond in the amount that I told you. I'll put bailable as a matter of right, cash only, $10,000. And then your next court date, if you can come up with the money before that, you can get out, make sure you show up on the court date that I'm giving you this time, okay? And that's it. There you go. All right. All right, now we've got one house call. And yeah, you see, you understand what it is, but I wish they do. When you guys get these things in and the state that's requesting is before 5 p.m. their time, and you can get an answer to these things that I can't get when I'm here usually. All right, this is Chantel Sanford. This is a long docket. She was charged with misdemeanor shoplifting, 2 counts, different forms, yesterday. I set a $500 bond in this case. Her next court date will be April 1st at 1:30 in Surprise Municipal Court. All right. Is that everything? All right. Yeah,